Hey everyone, quick tip today, something that I'm working on myself, and it's how the rib cage moves in the backswing. We're going to focus in on how it extends but never moves into extension. Okay, so here is an example of a really good mover, a really high level player, and how you can see that using the arrow, it never gets pointed above that horizontal line. If we were to have a horizontal line here, it stays pointed more down than actually getting up here. Here is an example of a player that gets too much extension in the backswing, and you can see how that rib cage starts to point somewhere up there. All right, so why is this important? The way the rib cage moves that backswing has huge implications on the way we transition and deliver the club. So in good players, you're going to see a lot more people where that rib cage sits down as it rotates. Okay, so couple of things that you can do to help you to do that. If you feel like you're the kind of person that gets a bit of that look in the backswing, a little bit too much extension, like your rib cage might be pointing up, first thing is you could just start off with the general sense of figuring out how you feel when you rotate with the club there to keep it more down. And not just down, it's down and pointed in front of you as well. So if I go this way and I put it there, you can see that it's not getting pointed behind me, it's down and pointed in front. Okay, so use that as a general sense as to how you can rotate. If you're still struggling, you need a little bit more, here's a couple of feels that I'm using. I'm going to start looking at other areas of the body to see how we can maybe improve things so the rib cage has more opportunity to stay down. And I'm going to go straight to the segment below. How am I moving around this right hip? If that right hip gets jammed up, I'm going to have to find the rotation somewhere for the backswing, and that might be through extension of the rib cage. Okay, then I'm also going to look at the segment above. If this right shoulder is not getting out of the way and I'm getting this nice space in this up area, then that amount of rotation I'm losing, if that's staying here, I'm going to pick it up somewhere else, and that could be the way that I would be extending. All right, so for me, what I'm working on is attacking both those areas. How I load that right hip and how I initiate the swing. So in the start of the swing for the upper body, there's a little feel of a push-pull motion there to get that right shoulder moving out of the way. And you can see that if I start the swing also with a little reach across my left arm as I feel that, okay, it puts me in a nice position where my arm is, at this point, pretty much parallel to my toe line, the club head a little bit outside my hands. While I'm doing that to load the right hip and make sure I have opportunity to load that right hip, well, I'm keeping the pressure pushing through my left side. All right, so from face on would look like this, reach across, pushing through that left side. So you see lower body, there's not a ton of movement at all. I'm in that position with that club slightly outside my hands, and it feels like when I do this push-pull and when I keep that push into that left, it feels like my rib cage actually wants to stay down. Okay, and then from there I'm just going to make a bigger turn as I can to the top, feeling like I get deep into that right hip and I get that right shoulder as deep as I can as well. Okay, and you can see when I was doing that, the rib cage was pointed. If I do it again, if I get there, it's pointed down quite a lot there, more than I would want. So a little bit of an exaggerated rehearsal, but when I go to hit, I know that I'm going to get more. Okay, so let's see how that looks when I hit one. Gonna get in there, make sure lined up really well. Setup obviously hugely important to make sure I get rotation from the right spots. There's my setup, pushing through the left. That's my takeaway feel. Not bad, not bad. I'd give that 6, 7 out of 10. Okay, so if you are someone that feels like you get too much extension, one, try looking at just the rib cage and how it moves on its own in the beginning. And then two, if you're struggling still then, look at the way you move around that right hip, look at the way that right shoulder is getting out of the way, and maybe try some of those feels, and they could be of help to you.